Welcome to Vlogmas episode 6 from me and little Florence. And now it's turning out to be one of those days. I've got a splitting headache. I woke up in the night with it and I should have got up and taken some paracetamol, and I didn't because I couldn't be bothered to move, which was an error because I've still got it. And it's not shifting and the day is not going brilliantly. So little Maude, who is one of our old girls, she is 12, she's Jack Russell Cross miniature wirehead, isn't very well. And I think I was worrying about her in the night, which didn't help. Well, not I think, I was worrying about her in the night. She actually slept in Coco's room. She's Coco's little dog and she loves Coco, and whenever she's under the weather she sleeps in Coco's room on her beanbag. So she was in there last night and she's still not herself. So I've got an appointment with our lovely vet Richard this afternoon, but I was on the school run to pick Gus up. He is broken up, he is now home, and the farrier was here. Coco got the horses in, the farrier came. And the farrier called to me to say, Charlie, don't panic, it's okay, but Colin was scratching and he caught his nostril in a hook and he's ripped his nostril. So I'm waiting for the horse vet to arrive, probably in the next sort of 20 minutes or so. Colin is in his stable. He has got new shoes, but his nostril is far from pretty. He's sort of got a flap, so that is going to need stitching. I obviously didn't have the photo shoot, so Charlie is on his way over to take photos, and I'm feeling far from in the mood for having my photo taken, but it is the only opportunity because Charlie's now away and then we're supposed to be going away. So I rang him and he said, I'm coming, I'm on my way and I can help with whatever, and if we take some pictures, we take some pictures, and if we don't, we don't. Bless him. Absolutely adore Charlie. So he's on his way. Simon is back. He's in the office having a pretty stressful day. I've just got final numbers for the catering job on Saturday, so I need to call the butchers quickly and place my order. And then this afternoon, well, we'll see how all the animals are. The plan is to do a bit of cooking in preparation for Saturday's job. So that's where we are. I am going to take some more paracetamol and see if I can shift this headache. It's just kind of here, and it's really annoying, and I could do without it, to be honest. I massaged my temples in the night. I wish I'd got up and found some paracetamol, but I knew that there wasn't any upstairs and I just couldn't face coming downstairs, which was really, really foolish. Anyhow, there's also a post strike, so last orders have been posted, although one has just come in, but there's a strike, so at least there wasn't a queue in the post office when I did that earlier, because nobody's posting, but you can still post, and as soon as there's not a strike day, those items will be sent. So at least they are on their way, if not slightly delayed. Anyhow, I've got a cuppa. It's still freezing cold. It's not as cold as it was. It's 0 degrees at the moment, right now, right here. And I think I was a bit slow doing the horses this morning because I just wasn't feeling great. I am listening to Audible or whatever next with Glenn Connor. It's amazing. I'm really thoroughly enjoying that. So that is a welcome distraction to everything else going on. This is an early Christmas present from Simon. I didn't actually say, darling, can I open it and can I put it on and wear it? But it's from Holland Cooper and another cozy knit. My cozy knits from like last year and the years before are all feeling a bit tired. A couple of them have shrunk a little bit. I hand wash everything. I've got a lovely purple one that I was wearing in I think the last episode, but the arms are a bit short. And it's really, really irritating. They kind of stop about there. And actually, in this chilly weather, you definitely don't want arms stopping there. So this is an early Christmas present from Simon, which will be coming on holiday with us. I love the gold hardware detail on the shoulders and sleeves. It just elevates it, I think. So there's something, you know, wearing something pretty always makes you feel a little bit better, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to call the butchers, get all my warm weather gear on and get up to the yard and wait for the vet. And then we'll see if Charlie manages to get any photos of me today. It's really frustrating because I've got quite a lot of content that needs to be photographed and I just can't do it myself. So failing today, I might have to see if Coco could be my photographer. Simon is absolutely terrible, so I won't be asking him. If not, it's going to have to be Archie on Sunday. But I know that Sunday is going to be a really, really crazy day because we're supposed to be leaving at 3 a.m. to go skiing. So I've got quite a lot packed in, and we're going to also be having an early Christmas on Sunday because I'm not taking all the presents skiing, we've decided. So yes, there's quite a lot going on, which is probably why I've got a headache, to be honest. Oh, the vet is here, so I must go. So here is Colin. Hope you're not squeamish, but that is what he has done. Bless him. Marco is here, and he says it's not going to take long to stitch him up. My poor boy, poor Colin. Anyhow, at least Marco was here very, very quickly, which is excellent. Look, he's still terribly handsome. Dear Colin. Dear Charlie is holding Colin while Marco stitches up his nose. And they're going to be dissolvable stitches. Dear Colin is being very good. We've had to sedate him. Hopefully it will heal quickly. Colin has woken up, still a bit bloody, but Marco has done a really, really good job at stitching up his nose so he can go out, and he's going to need quite a bit of TLC, can't be ridden for a little while, but he's going to be fine. Marco said he should only have a tiny, tiny little scar. I've had to put this one on my lap so she doesn't disturb the patient. So I'm back having seen Richard the vet. No, Florence, it's not for you. She's so pushy, this one. But, no, don't, because Mummy's got a hot drink. It's actually not that hot anymore, and I don't want you pushing it over. And we need to leave Maude peacefully. So it was actually Richard's day off, and bless him, he said that he was going to be in the area anyway and that he could see us. So I was with him for quite a long time. He's very thorough, and I just really, really trust him. He's got such sensible advice, and I know that our pets are in the best hands with Richard, basically. And I adore his wife too. I got to see her as well, which was really lovely. So he thinks that Maude has got, I can't remember exactly what the term is. I did ask him about 3 times, but I'm tired, and it's been a pretty horrific day, to be honest. There's been a few other things that have happened which haven't been great, but I'm not going to bore you with all of that. He thinks that she has got intermuscular disc disease, something along those lines. Basically, her back's not great, and she is half Dachshund, and Dachshunds are renowned for not having brilliant backs. She's 12, she's an old girl, so she is on Metacam and gabapentin. He said that she needs to have crate rest. However, I know that that is going to distress her, being crated. So we're going to try, just to have her on Coco's beanbag down here by the fire, just peaceful, just peaceful, and I can carry her in and out. We've just got a little step into the house, but he doesn't want her jumping up on anything. He doesn't want her doing stairs. She's to have as much rest as possible. So she's tucked under the Christmas blanket and she's happy. I've given her a little bit of food, which she ate happily, which is a really good sign. And lots of rest, lots of TLC, and fingers crossed she'll be fine. It was just, I didn't sleep well last night because I was just worried about her. Well, you know what I'm like about the dogs, particularly my little girls. I'm very, very attached to Tess. You can't see, you'll let me move you. Tess is here. You still can't see. She's there on the sofa, bless her. Dear Tess is 14. So Tess and Maude are sisters. I'm sorry, the lighting's terrible, and we've got this wire here. This is for the Amazon Fire Stick, something like that. So no, you're to leave her alone. Alone, Florence. Let's move you back up there so I don't have to crouch down. Yes, you stay over here with Mummy. So, yes, Tess and Maude, let me tell you about them. So when, hang on, you are just a pest. When I met Simon, he had Splash, the black Labrador, and Splash was wonderful. She was at our wedding and she's a very, very special, special girl. Simon used to travel a lot, and she used to come and stay with me in London, and I could walk Splash from my office in Chelsea to Hyde Park without a lead, just by looking at her and doing a sort of head move, and she would know, you know, when to sit at the traffic lights when we were crossing. Such an incredible dog. Anyway, we then got Pippa because Splash was getting quite old, and when Splash died, Pippa had never been on her own, and we just didn't, it just wasn't fair just for her to be alone, really. I think it's better if you, personally, it's my personal thing, to have, you know, more than one dog, and they can keep each other company. So I said, because Arch was a baby. Arch was probably about 6 months when Splash died. So we then got Tess, and Tess came when Arch was about 6 months old, and I wanted something little, and we were staying with some wonderful friends down in Devon, and I said, I want a little special something. And she said, oh, Charlie, I know, my friend Claire has just had a litter of Jack Russell cross miniature wirehead, and they are really special. Let me call her. And we went over, and Tess was the only bitch in the litter, so Tess came into our lives. And then we said to Claire, if you ever have any more, do let us know. Why did we say that? Well, we did. Anyway, 18 months later, Claire called and said, we've had another litter and there's only one bitch, and that is little Maude. And Coco was about 6 months. So Tess and Maude have grown up with Archie and Coco, and they're sort of technically their dogs. Coco is terribly fond of Maude, and Maude often sleeps in Coco's bedroom in the beanbag, but we don't want her doing the stairs at the moment, so she's going to be down here on the beanbag, and I will keep her separate from the others just so she can get as much rest and peace as possible. Then when Gus, how old was he? He must have been about 7 or 8. He said to me one night, he'd had a bad day, and I said, why didn't we say prayers, darling? And he said, I don't want to say prayers, Mummy. I don't believe in God anymore. I have been praying for the last 3 years, Mummy, for my own dog, and he hasn't listened to me. And that absolutely broke my heart. And so I bought Penny for him. Literally about 3 days later, I was chatting to a great friend of mine, and she told me about this litter of miniature wireheads locally, and I knew the lovely lady that bred them anyway. And so that's how Penny came into our lives. And then this one, obviously, is Penny's daughter, Florence. And I said to the children, if there is a bitch in the litter, we will keep her. And you arrived, didn't you? Yes, you did. You did. You did. You did. And so we've got you. So that's how these little dogs came into our lives. So anyway, dear Maude is resting. I am not going to do any more cooking. I'm not going to chat to you anymore today. I am going to have an early night. Well, I'm going to try and have an early night. I need to go up and check on Colin, but he seems to be doing pretty well. I went to see him earlier and he seems okay, which is a relief. He's got lots of meds to start tomorrow morning, so that will we will do that. And yes, I'm looking forward to bed tonight. I've still got a bit of a headache. It's slightly better than it was earlier. Charlie obviously did come. We had 20 minutes to take some photos and we managed to snap a few, and we put a date in the diary for after Christmas when he's going to come back and do a few more. And I think what's great about Charlie taking pictures for me is he knows me so well. He's such a dear friend. I mean, he's been a friend for 15 years, that I'm just completely natural with him, because I don't really like having my photo taken. You may not know that. First time I had a photo shoot for Ask Charlie, I was almost sick because I get so nervous. And actually every time the photographer presses a button, if I can hear like the shutter click, I close my eyes. I just close my eyes. And Charlie now knows how to distract me, which is really awesome. So anyway, we got a few photos snapped and he's now away, then we're away. And yes, I'm going to stop prattling on. I need to get something for the children. Simon and I are having a curry. I think tonight they're going to have fish fingers and chips because I can't be bothered to do anything else. It's going to be a simple supper, and I think a hot bath and Bedfordshire. I love my bed. I do. And tomorrow is a new day, and let's hope it's a lot better than today has been. But Colin is fine. She is fine. It could have been far worse news. So I'm really relieved that that she's home. She's home and she's safe and she's comfortable, and that is the most important thing, isn't it? And you're going to not be a pest and you're going to leave her alone, aren't you? Yes, Mummy, I'm going to be a good girl. I'm going to be a good girl. I will chat to you tomorrow. Good morning. I am up in the yard doing the horses. It is still really, really cold. I've got the kettle on to defrost the water. I had an early night. I had a hot bath and an early night. And actually, no school runs this morning. I had a little bit of a lie-in too, which was bliss, and I needed it. I needed to recharge. Colin's nose is looking pretty good. Here he is having his breakfast. And the others are all well and fine. And Maude had a good night, which is excellent. And she seemed actually much, much happier, more settled. She stopped shaking, so I think the pain relief is kicking in. So that is really positive. It's going to be a good day. You can't really see, but there is blue sky. You can't see it all. I don't know if I spin you around there. No, I think it just looks grey to you, but there is beautiful blue sky. Let me see if I can show you the sunrise. It's beautiful. Just coming up behind me there. A glorious day, I think it's going to be. I've got my live with my Christmas course at 10:30 this morning, and then I need to get cooking. But I'm hoping to go up to London later on today to see Adrian for my last appointment this year. I'm hoping. I haven't actually got an appointment yet, but he said just call and I will fit you in. So that is the plan. I will keep you posted. I've just finished my live with my Christmas course. It's the last live session before Christmas. It's an 8-week Christmas course and it's been great fun doing it. They're such a lovely, lovely group of people. It's been a real pleasure to be with them every week. So with my courses, not with every single course, but most of them, I have a Facebook group and I'm live in there. It's a private Facebook group and they can ask questions and I can do live sessions with them. With my Efficient Home course, I also did a Zoom call, which was really, really fun. So yes, that is done. I need to go to the butcher's to pick up the gammon that I ordered yesterday. And I think that I have got everything that I need for Saturday's catering job. I think I'm under control. I've got all the dogs in the house. Maude is on her beanbag by the fire and she's asleep at the moment, but she is quite happy. So much happier than she was yesterday, which is a massive, massive relief. And then I have got an appointment to go and see Adrian, so I'm whizzing up to London later on today. Simon's going to come home early from work so I can go up and do that. And I just feel that it will set me up for the next few weeks. He has made a huge, huge difference. I have, I mean, I don't bore you guys too much, but I haven't felt like great for quite a long time until I started seeing Adrian, and I've had quite a few days, more days of feeling great than feeling like it's a bit of a struggle. This headache's been a bit annoying, but actually it's a lot better now than it was first thing this morning and yesterday. So that is really, really good. And I was chatting to a friend the other day because she said that her get up and go had got up and gone. And I said, well, mine had. But actually, since I've been seeing Adrian, I'm back. I am back on form, feeling good and energized. And it's horrid when you're just not feeling quite yourself. And Adrian, yet again, has worked his magic. And it's just so lovely to see him, to lie down, to have a bit of time for me and know that he's just getting everything working, getting everything going as it should. The hair loss is so much better. I've had a few people message about that, and actually I will, probably in the new year, I will sit down and chat through it again and share it on my Instagram. So then anyone else going through it, it'll be helpful for, because it is such a shock when your hair starts shedding, not just falling out, shedding. And, it's scary, it's horrid. And I was listening to Whatever Next with Anne Glencona. I love that lady. She is awesome. And she was talking this morning while I was doing the stables about your hair and how important your hair is. And she had a perm once and it went horribly wrong and she just felt awful. There was a phase when when in the 60s, they all wore wigs. She said that was wonderful. You could get dressed and ready so quickly just popping on a wig. But your hair is really important. And if it's all falling out, it's pretty miserable. And mine is getting better. I mean, it's going to take a long time to be back to, I mean, it was never great before, but at least we are on the right track. I'm taking lots of vitamins, lots of supplements. I am trying where possible to rest. I have been taking Floridix, obviously having acupuncture, and just trying to be kind to myself where possible. Obviously, this is a crazy time of year, particularly when you have a Christmas course, when you sell Christmassy products on your website and you're inundated with orders. But rather than killing myself, I just said, Charlie, my lovely friend Charlie, male Charlie, can you come and help? And he wasn't busy, so and luckily he's now flat out, but luckily he had some time to come and help me pack things up and get orders out, which is amazing. And then obviously you know, doing Vlogmas, but I'm really, really enjoying Vlogmas. I'm loving your feedback, and I really, really appreciate every one of you that watches my videos. Somebody messaged me on Instagram yesterday, said, Charlie, I've just seen you've hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. I hope you're celebrating tonight. Actually, I wasn't celebrating last night because I was absolutely cream crackered, having had a stressful day. But I had a really good look at Colin's nose earlier, and I'm touching my nose at the same time, and it's looking good. Marco is a fantastic vet. I really love our vet practice. He was here, well, you guys saw, I mean, I was sitting down chatting to you. I was told he was going to be half an hour, and I faffed a bit before I sat down and talked to you, and then suddenly he arrived. He was here within 10-15 minutes. Luckily, he was in the area anyway, but just awesome, and he did an excellent job. He's so kind. He's very funny. He's got a great sense of humour, and we all had a bit of a laugh up at the yard while he was stitching up dear Colin's schnoot. And then Richard, beloved Richard, and Lulu, his wife, they're so kind. And I think I got myself in a bit of a, I was really, really worried about Maude. She was shaking in pain, and it's just horrid. Your beloved little dogs, or any pet. I'm a big softie. I mean, my animals are so important to me. And when they're in pain and not themselves, it's horrid. So, so grateful to lots of wonderful people in my life. Anyway, I need to go and see my lovely butcher, who has got Lola. No, who's got 2 gammons for me, because I think doing 2, I'm cooking for 25 people. I think 2 is going to be easier than 1, although it's sort of double the work, but it's fine. I think it's better. I think it's more manageable. My arg pan, it's just here, is pretty big, but when you've got 1 huge gammon in there, it can overflow and bubble over, and it's heavy and it's awkward and it's tricky. So 2 smaller ones, I think, is the way forward. I hope I've made the right decision. Anyway, I'm going to go and do that, and yeah, get a few things done before heading up to London, and then hopefully when I get back from London, I've got the energy to wrap last bits. I've just got the boys' things to do. Everything else is done, and that is quite a good feeling.
Well, I don't look very smart, but if it's a vlog, just say this poor chap was up and on the road at 3 o'clock this morning.
Jim was up at 3 o'clock this morning collecting turkeys and geese. Yes. Here are my 2 hams. Can I have a dozen chipolatas too, please?
Yeah, they're in there.
I'm back from the butcher's. I've got my gammons. Now, it's very important that you weigh your gammon, or ask your butcher how much it weighs, because that affects the cooking time. So let's just pop it on the scales and make a note of the weight. That is 5 kilos, so it's pretty big. I've got 2 of them. I've got 1 in here already soaking, and I'm just going to leave it over there. And I think the secret to good gammon is the pre-soak. So I buy green unsmoked and just cut them open, pop them into your pan and cover it in water. When I get back from London, I will change the water, just tip it out, and then put clean cold water, really important, it's cold water, back over and leave it to soak. I mean, they say overnight, but I think actually overnight and half a day is best. So I'm going to fill this up with water and then leave it beside the other one. And it's a good idea to leave it in a cool place. I mean, the kitchen is pretty cool at the moment. The only heating we've got on is the Arga, and they're far enough away. So leave it in a cool place, soaking for, well, at least overnight, but a bit longer is better, I reckon. Right, we are making Cumberland sauce now. I am using my Oxo potato peeler. They do have one of these, but I don't find it works very well. It's got a serrated edge. It just doesn't do the job that I want it to do. So we're just going to peel carefully strips like that. One orange and one lemon. So do exactly the same thing with your lemon. Then using a sharp knife, you want to cut this into quite thin strips. And I don't want to have them too long, so I'll cut those in half. It's a little bit fiddly, but you want a strip like that, and you need to do all your oranges and lemons. But trust me, it's such a delicious sauce. It's worth putting a little bit of time and effort in. And this can be done in advance, and it keeps really well in the fridge. You can just keep it in a jam jar. So it's not something that you want to be doing last minute. All my little strips are chopped, and I'm just going to put them in a saucepan with some water and just bring them to the boil for a few minutes, and it just takes the bitterness out. So it is important to do that. A little water. And on to boil. One of the reasons why I make my own red currant jelly is for my Cumberland sauce. So 4 tablespoons of red currant jelly into saucepan. And 4 tablespoons of port. I'm going to put this on a low heat. I just want the red currant jelly to melt, and I'm going to squeeze the juice of half a lemon. And I'm going to pour that juice into a little pudding bowl, which I've got there. And then I need to juice the orange. I've got an itchy nose. Just going to give that a stir. I'm going to juice the orange and then add the orange juice to my red currant and port. My port and red currant is just bubbling away, and it's just reducing, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of mustard powder to my half lemon juice and just mix those up. And then when that's reduced a little bit more, I will add in this and the juice of the orange. These have been boiling away, so I'm just going to strain those. and those are strained. Put those to one side for a minute. Give that a stir. That's reducing nicely, but I'm going to leave it on for another few moments until it's ready. That has reduced nicely, so I'm going to pour in the orange juice and the lemon and mustard. Add that in. There. Add in those, and that is your Cumberland sauce done. Really, really delicious. And I've got a jam jar which I'm going to store it in the fridge. Use my jam funnel, make it easier, and just pour that in. And that, once it's cooled, can go into the fridge and will be absolutely delicious, served with gammon, mashed potato, dauphinoise, whatever. I just think that is really a delicious sauce. So I now need to clear the decks, cook lunch for the children, and then whiz up to London. So I'm going to crack on and do that. We are having pasta, peas and bacon for lunch, Gus's request, and so I'm going to do that. I've shared with you how I'm going to do it, so I'm just going to crack on and get that done quickly for everybody. We've had lunch and I have wrapped up the last orders are ready to go. And somebody yesterday, I think, asked what pens I use, particularly for my diaries, Christmas planners and things like that. And actually I love these Pilot Fix-On ball pens. They've also got like a rubber, so you can rub out at the same time, which is quite clever. It's removed by friction, it says on it. So yes, those Pilot pens are the ones that I tend to use as everyday pens. I've got my lovely fountain pen, but just for everyday stuff, I use one of these. Anyway, I'm going to end today's vlog here. I'm going to head up to London to see Adrian for my appointment, and then I'm going to see Archie's godmother, an old pony club friend, and pop in and have a cup of tea with her before driving back. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode, and I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, I'll see you very soon.